Jesus said there are two ways. One is narrow and it leads to life. One is wide and it leads to destruction. That's not subtle. That's not nuanced. That's a line in the sand. And then at the end of that same sermon, he says, you can build your life on rock or on sand. And the difference doesn't show up when the weather's nice. It shows up when the storm hits. Hi, my name is Chris Howlett. Welcome to Flourishing Life as we begin this new series, Two Ways, the Path to the Flourishing Life. And today's video is titled, Choose. Now here's what's important. Jesus isn't inventing a new idea here. He's tapping into something ancient, what biblical scholars call the two ways tradition. It's the idea that life comes down to two paths, the way that leads to life and the way that leads to death. And if we're honest, this connects with something deep in all of us, because everybody wants the good life. Not just happiness in the shallow sense, not just comfort or success or a decent vacation once a year. I'm talking about something much deeper, a life that's meaningful, a life that's grounded, a life that holds together when things fall apart, a life that actually satisfies. On this channel, we call this the flourishing life. Jesus calls it something even stronger in John 10:10. He says, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. He's not talking about survival. He's not talking about just barely getting by. He's talking about a life that's full to overflowing. What's interesting is you don't have to be religious to ask this question. Philosophy has been digging into this for centuries. Modern psychology has been asking it too. Researchers like Martin Seligman and Christopher Peterson spent years studying what actually makes a life flourish. And where did they end up looking? Well, not just in data sets and lab results, but in what they called the wisdom traditions, ancient sources. And if you look at their research carefully enough, you discover that the major contribution for what makes a life flourishing came from the Bible, the Old and New Testaments. Humanity keeps circling the same realization. There's a way of living that leads to life and a way that doesn't. Now, this is where it gets personal. Jesus doesn't present this as a theory. He presents it as a reality in which you are already living. You're not literally standing at a fork in the road waiting to decide someday. You've already decided. You're already on a path right now. Your habits, your priorities, your patterns, they're forming a direction. And direction, not just intention, determines destination. You can desire a good life all day long, but if your direction is off, you're not going to just randomly drift into flourishing. And so what are the two ways? Well, Jesus gives us images. A narrow gate, a wide road, a house on a rock, a house on sand. And here's the catch. The wide road is easier. It's more natural. It's more crowded. You don't have to think much to stay on it. You just go with the flow. The narrow way, well, it requires effort. It requires alignment. It requires choosing something different. Not because the way of life is restrictive, but because it actually leads somewhere you truly want to go. Let me say it this way. Most people don't ruin their lives through one big decision. They do it through 1,000 small ones that all lead in the same direction. And the opposite is true also. You don't stumble into a flourishing life, you choose it. Not once, but directionally. You choose what you center your life on. You choose what shapes your thinking. You choose what and whom you follow. Over time, the path shapes you. And this is where Jesus pushes beyond philosophy and psychology. He's not just describing two paths, he's calling you to one. The narrow way is not just a set of principles, it's a life aligned with him. That's why he ends the sermon the way he does. Not whoever hears these ideas, but whoever hears these words of mine and does them. So here's the question. Not what do you believe, not what do you hope, but this. You are already on a path. Is it leading to the life you actually want? Thanks for watching. Next week, we're going to talk about walk. What habits are you forming? Or what habits are forming you? If this has been helpful, click the like button. You can subscribe to the channel and click the bell to be notified when new videos are uploaded. In the meantime, I hope you're finding your way to the path that leads to flourishing life.